What's up, guys? Today, we are talking about anterior hip pain. Like if right there hurts. Now, impingement is a word that gets thrown around a lot for this, but not a lot of people know what impingement really means. Hip impingement is going to be where something in the hip socket is binding up before the hip can access its full range of motion. If it's early on, this might be a matter of coordination and range of motion within the hip capsule, causing the femur head to be shoved somewhere that it really doesn't want to go. And if it's been going on for a while, all of that binding and shoving may have contributed to bony growth occurring, getting more and more in the way. If there's been a lot of structural change, you might require surgery, and this video isn't for you. You should go talk to a surgeon. But if that structural change isn't super duper significant, by restoring coordination within the hip socket, we can get a lot of pain-free range of motion back. And a lot of times, anterior hip pain might not be impingement at all, even if it does feel pinchy. It could just be hip flexor tendinopathy or adductor tendinopathy. So if it is that, or if it's an impingement that doesn't require surgery, this stuff is going to help you. The usual suspects that I'll want to check out are going to be hip internal rotation, hip flexion strength, and hip adduction strength. I never want to say that a lack of range of motion or lack of strength is causing the problem, but it can paint a picture of what we need to work on. To check out hip internal rotation, we're going to pick up the knee, keep it pointing straight ahead, and then flick the foot out into hip internal rotation. If we can't access hip IR, or if we need to flick the pelvis around to get there, it means that we probably should work on improving the hip's ability to access internal rotation. To do that, a 90-90 is a pretty easy place to start. So get in the 90-90 position, try to keep yourself as upright as you can, and hang out in the stretch to start. Then we can contract, trying to drive the foot into the floor for a 30-second hold. And next, we can contract the opposite way, trying to pick the foot up off the ground. And if we can't do that, we can hang out with our foot on a block for an enhanced internal rotation stretch. And to train the range of motion we just accessed, we're going to do a single leg RDL. The important thing here is that as we hinge, we let the outside hip drop so that we're accessing hip IR and feeling a stretch through our lateral hip. Try to accumulate 90 seconds of the 90-90 1 to 3 times a day, and follow that up with 2 to 3 sets of 10 on the single leg RDLs. Next, we're going to check out hip flexor strength. Pick the knee up again, but this time you're going to put your hand on top of your leg and you're going to push down as hard as you can. Try to resist with your hip flexor. If this is weak or causes pain, we're going to need to make those hip flexors stronger. An accessible way to do this is by grabbing a band, looping it around your foot, and then performing knee raises until you get a mild hip flexor pump. On the days you don't train, you're going to perform 1 to 3 sets of light, mild, pumpy work with the banded hip flexor raises, and then when you're in the gym, you're going to progress up on things like decline setups, GHR setups, or knees over toe guy style reverse squats. And to check out our adductor strength, we're going to put something between our knees and squeeze. If that hurts or feels weak, we're going to need to bring up your adductors. And if it's all you can handle, just squeezing something between your legs could be a good start point. But what I really want people working towards is a Copenhagen plank. And if they really suck, you can make your knee the base of support to make the levers a little bit friendlier. And to make them harder, we can add some up and down motion so that we're actively abducting and then adducting. You can run the Copenhagen planks at home away from training as part of your warm-up, or you can push them hard within your actual session. What matters if we're having adductor trouble is that we're doing enough work to bring them up so that they can handle more. So guys, if you're having anterior hip pain, give that stuff a run. Do some assessment to figure out if you need more hip rotation, hip flexor ability, or adductor ability. Once you figure out what's missing, do the work to bring it up. And don't forget, during your actual training, make sure that we're managing range of motion and loading so that we aren't really pissing things off. That way, we're gonna give the work that we're doing away from training a chance to actually work. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you need more help with an issue that you can't figure out on your own, hit the link below to book an online appointment. Be sure to check out my next upcoming lecture series on making conjugate work for raw powerlifting. And since you made it here, please don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Peace out.